Okay. Morning, everybody. This is Mohsen Beheshti, Chair of Computer Science Department here at California State University, Dominguez Hills. I'm also the director of the Center of Excellence in Knowledge Management and Cyber Defense, which we've been on since 2005, as well as the Cybersecurity Research Lab that we have here. We've been actually working in the cybersecurity area since 2006, where I was one of the PIs for the Cyber Watch West NSF grant to promote cybersecurity in schools in California, basically West region. And we started a program, undergraduate program in Homeland Security, which includes cybersecurity material in that. And then, based on the interest and talking to the advisory council, we started a program in Master of Science in Cybersecurity. So through this presentation, I'm going to talk about what cybersecurity is, talk about the importance of cybersecurity, what it means, and then we'll go over the curriculum as well. So would you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so today presentation is going to cover areas of, as I mentioned earlier, what cybersecurity is, what do you mean by cybersecurity, the jobs that exist over there regarding cybersecurity, which as many of you might know, is great opportunity nowadays for that, as well as why cybersecurity is so important now. I mean, you hear things from the on TV and news that what's happening and why they are putting so much importance into have people in cybersecurity area. We will look at the job outlook, how much job opportunity exists out there here in California, in the States, and globally, all over the place. And of course, we'll talk about our cybersecurity program, Master of Science in Cybersecurity, developed here at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and how you can actually benefit from this program and be able to actually improve your income and be able to actually get the field that is very exciting and keep you always active into the field. Next slide, please. So when you look at the cybersecurity, there's different definitions, but in general, cybersecurity, we talk about when you talk about the security, you talk about the security of the home, right? And here we talk about the digital area. So we talk about the security in regard to the internet networks and all the digital equipments that you have. So it basically trying to find a way to protect the system, the network, the machines from unauthorized access. And as you go through the different definitions that you see here, through Cisco, Palo Alto, already the definition in the by dictionary, you will see that basically we try to find a set of tools and set of techniques that we can actually making sure our system is secure. The security is very important right now. As you noticed, everything we use is security related. Any job that you can work with, it has to do some level of digital access and computers involved. And being able to do cybersecurity and be able to protect the machine is actually a must right now. So those who haven't done any of those, you notice that this becomes very important. Of course, when you look at the security, you can look at the level of the security. I mean, if you're doing something about marketing, you want to make sure that your system is available for the users and users to access. So you want to make sure that you find the threshold. Where do you want the system to be available? And based on its availability, you need to make sure you have the security attached to it. So we're going to go through this and talk about the details about what are the type of jobs that are existing and how we can do the security in those and why it's so important, no matter what kind of field you're in. So we'll go to the next slide to talk about some of the cybersecurity topics. So when you talk about the cybersecurity, the risk assessment is important because you need to, as I mentioned previously, is depending what kind of job you're working on, you need to see how much risk is involved in somebody having access to your data. So if you're doing in marketing, you want people be able to access your website and look at the information that you have, right? You want them to be open for them to access. But if you're doing something in the government area, which is very high security, you probably want to restrict it as much as you can. So based on the field that you're working on, you want to make sure to assess the risk of the security and then have the security tools and systems based on the requirement of the job that you're at. Cyber forensics, if you find that somebody have access to your data, you need to find out where the vulnerabilities are and how you can actually fix them, or basically be able to monitor your system periodically to see if anybody is trying to access your computer and be able to protect it before it's getting too dangerous. Networks, right? Everything is connected right now. So you have a computer right now, almost everything is connected, and of course you do a local area network, wide area network, or actually you have the global, which is actually the internet. Everything is connected, and you can go through the system. So you need to make sure you have some ways of protecting your system. In other words, you want to be able to access, you want to be able, people be able to access to your site, to your data that's used for the outside, but at the same time making sure that unauthorized access is protected. Hacking prevention is basically trying to make sure that if somebody is trying to get into your system, be able to protect it. So it's like somebody wants to get into somebody's house, you notice that they try to play with the doorknob here and there. If you see somebody trying to play with the doorknob, you see maybe something suspicious happening. So you try to find out what are some of the signs that says, okay, somebody's trying to access your machine and then trying to protect it. So hacking prevention is basically set up to the system that can show you the trend of the access to your machine and how you can actually make sure you prevent it from any damage that comes later on. Cloud computing. Now the cloud is actually the important part of any business right now, because they're trying to, instead of spending money to buy the equipment, they can actually use the services which is out there. They can use the service as a software, as an infrastructure, or as a tool. So you can use the cloud, becomes very beneficial. But always when you have a lot of access to outside, the security becomes very important as well. So you need to be able to actually, if you're using cloud, which many systems use the cloud, be able to keep that cloud secure. Your data, when you use the cloud, you definitely don't know where the data is, where it's being held. So you need to know a little bit more about where you're doing the cloud with, and then if that cloud they're doing is actually secure, and that goes through the policy that you use. So if you're doing cloud computing, you need to make sure the policy is also well understood, because that has a lot of importance about how the system is going to be secured, who can access to the data, and where the data is being held, and what are the policies or the laws in that place, because the data could be actually held in another country altogether, that the rules and regulations are totally different. So you need to know about all those. So what we're going to talk about this course, and we're going to talk about the end, we go over the policies also. And the management is also another important aspects of it, to how to manage the data. You have the data, and you have people who can access, and you want to see who can access to what kind of data. So you have different level of access for different people at different positions that they are, and making sure that the data is going to be accessed in the right manner, and that it's not going to be accessed by unauthorized people. So we'll talk about these a little bit more from different aspects as we go through the presentation. Next slide, please. Okay, so what does a job in cybersecurity involve? Of course, there is a lot of job companies, any company can think of right now. They involve some type of computers, IT. So it doesn't matter. It's not like before that the computer science or IT was a field by itself. Computer science and IT is part of any other business that you can think of. So you're talking about the clothing, about the food, anything you can think of. They keep track of the data through some type of digital media, computers, networks. So any company can think of, they need actually some type of IT related activity. And then nowadays, the security is a main part. So you need to make sure those systems are kept secure. And these are some examples of job opportunities. They could have security analyst, engineer, architect, administrator. Even at the high level, even in institutions, you can think about the chief information security officer that become actually about 10 years ago, and it becomes every institution has have a chief information security officer. Even the small companies, you can think of the network administrator. They have to have some level of security knowledge, because that's important. They can lose the whole company, the whole business, if the data is not secure. And it's very easy to be able to access the data and make damages, either by stealing something or just causing damage one way or the other. So having security is important, and you need to know that there are a lot of opportunities for security, and everybody's looking for somebody who has some level of security. So cybersecurity might say be a job for you if you like to have something which is You want to have it takes, you want to have what it takes, because the cybersecurity is something that is not going to be boring. You're going to learn things every day. The things are changing almost every week, every day, every minute. So you have to learn new things. So it's one of the fields that you're not getting bored. There are job security, because the security is something that's going to be there for years to come based on the Labor Bureau report and the information that comes out. These are things that are going to stay for a long time. Also, this job security in cybersecurity is one of those fields that you can almost have the price that you want for your job. So you can actually name your price, what is it you want, and they're willing to pay that, because it's very important for a business to keep the system secure. Also, there is the system, the market right now is actually there is a market that they have a lot of need for the security, so it's actually a candidate's market for now. You can actually almost find anywhere can find job for security, but you need to make sure that you know how to do security. So by just taking a class and learning a theory does not actually make you a cybersecurity professional. You need to have a little bit of hands-on and be able to work actually some of the real-world application, and that's what we're trying to do through the course that we have here. Not only get the theoretical aspects of it, but also get the practical aspect. And being involved with the work that we do in our courses, you actually get both aspects of the cybersecurity professional that you need to become through the program. So it's a great program. It's a great field. It's going to be always changing. You're always going to be behind in attackers. So you always need to learn things to get there. But it's exciting. You're going to learn a lot, and you're not going to be bored. You're not going to be doing the same thing every day. You're going to do new things every day, and that's the excitement of the field. And also that's why so much market for this, because they see a lot of excitement and a lot of work, and they have need for this. I mean, we go through some of the statistics in the slides coming up, shows how much need is there is for the field of cybersecurity. Next slide, please. So why is so important today cybersecurity? They talk about the 80% of Fortune 500 companies now consist of intellectual property. We talked about the cyber system, which are designed for security. But among other things, you could see that there are IoT, the Internet of Things. They say by 2020, it's going to be 200 billion connected things over there. So somebody has to be able to make these connected things secure. It's going to be huge connectivity coming years to come. The identity theft is important, and it says about it costs almost billions of dollars a year for every year for identity, and that has to do with the security, keeping the data in place. Executives from companies, Fortune 500 companies, they were saying in 2014 they said security is one of the concerns. 69% of the executives said the security is one of the concerns for the company. In 2015, it was 86%. And I can see that it's going up and up, and then now it's coming to 90% percentage. That shows how important the cybersecurity is in any company you can think of, and how important it is to have someone that can actually keep this system secure, because it does make a lot of damage if the system is not secure. So it's as it says here, it's very inexpensive to be able to attack. I mean, anybody can do that, and there's a lot of people do that. But what you need to know, you need to be able to actually to defend the system, and you always need to know that the defenders almost a generation or so behind the attacker. Because the way you learn how to protect is by learning what kind of attack is coming there, and you try to find ways to actually disrupt those. So if there haven't been an attack, you don't know how you think your system is secure. But by seeing those things happening, you actually find other ways to do it. And every time you find a way to defend it, you find that there is a new ways that comes up next day. So as I said, it's an ongoing thing and very exciting, and you're going to be always learning new things as it goes. And it's going to continue as far as I see. There is no end to it. Next slide, please. So again, a little bit more about why it's important for the security. You look at all the money that involved, the number of users in any of these systems you can think of that you see, and what are some of the damage that happened when there was some type of access to the unauthorized access to the system. It's become a literally very expensive process. So they estimate the cost of malicious cyber activity, as it says, between 57 to 109 billion dollars. That's just a 2006 to 2016. It goes double and triples as it goes years to come. So you see the importance of this cybersecurity and why it's important to have. And the banks, they have all the online system, the new system. You have the not only the computers, you have the mobile phone, you have the devices that come in. These are all making it more difficult to secure and become at the same time making it much easier for others to be able to access and make the damage that anybody wants to do. So you have different type of people who want to make damage. Some they want to do for the money of it, some they just do for fun. So there are so many different variations of intent for getting the attack to the system, and some of them might not really mean to do that, but it causes a lot of problem and damage to the system. So you need to be able to keep it secure, and that's why security is important, because it becomes very easy to attack, and you need to make sure you have somebody who's actually be able to protect the machines. Next slide, please. So job outlook. If you look at the some of the data that is out there, the unemployment is zero in California. And I know that in South Bay there was like 2,000 job opportunities not long ago for the cybersecurity field. It's always the government have so much trouble hiring security because of competing with industry, because industry pay more money obviously for that. So they have so much grants coming out to just make sure that they actually bring more people in the field of computing, because there is a need that they see that. So as you see, look at the Labor Bureau. It says that the employment of information security analysis is expected to grow 26% between 2016 to 2026. Actually, even for the IT itself, they say by the 2024 or so, it's going to be 1.8 million job opportunity here in the States. But if you graduate all the students in the field, we can meet 1/3 of demand. So it's a huge demand out there for the field of IT. And look at the security, it's actually more than that. Because now IT, if you look at the majority of the IT field, it requires the security aspect. I mean, even for the developers, they even need to make sure you have a secure code when they develop the code. But at the same time, the system that run those codes on, the networks, that's when you come to the system, that come to picture that Master of Science in Cybersecurity that we offer here. We actually prepare you for be able to protect the system, the company, the software, the tool, and basically the whole life of the field that you're in. So it just shows the importance, the statistics, and it's just going higher and higher every year. So the percentage is growing, not going down. At least the forecast that's coming out is saying all those. Next slide, please. So you look at the workforce demand here, just in California, in the States, it's more than 300,000, and they talk about how much jobs required just in the state. Globally, it's about 2 million job opportunities actually out there. In California, we have 35,000, and then in the area that we are, LA area is about 10,000. And if you look at the map that you have here, the part that is darker, it shows the need for the cybersecurity. So if you look at California, is one of the darker blues. That is a huge demand for cybersecurity in the state right here, as well as Texas, and we talk about Florida and some of the north. But if you notice, just looking at the state that we are, you notice how much in the field of cybersecurity exists. So the job opportunity is great, not only in the nation, but also in California, but also in the area that we are, as you see it. It says that they're saying by year 2017, 2021, the spending in products and services in the security is going to reach $1 trillion. Talking about how much money is spending to keep the system secure. JP Morgan Bank doubled the budget of the security. So the security area that they have, they doubled the budget to make sure the security is in place. Bank of America has unlimited budget for the security. So that means there's going to be more position, more jobs, and more need for the security. U.S. government actually has increased its annual budget by 37% in the security area. So that again shows the importance of security and why the forecast is saying that there is a need, and it's going to be need. It's going to be more and more as the years in years to come. Next, please. When you look at the cybersecurity professionals and the positions that are there, again, it doesn't matter if you are in a small or larger company. Security is important for the life of their business. Uh, any company can think of, no matter small, they do have some level of digital media. They have actually computers, or they keep the data. So security becomes important. So there are, data integration. They put it together. They talk about protection from the malware, data recovery planning, human errors, compliance related to information. These are some of the areas. It's just a number of those areas that you need to know when you really do security in for the businesses. But as I said, global spending on cybersecurity is $1 trillion, and that shows how important it is. Positions are up 74% over the past 5 years. So over the past 5 years, the position in the cybersecurity has grown 75% almost. The average salary is 65K for the IT, but when you get to the security area, you will see that medium salary is about 89K. And it's about 9% more than IT. So even if you're IT, when you look at security, you might get a much higher salary. Actually, we had one student just from an undergrad program graduated from Homeland Security track, and we have cybersecurity undergrad, and he had an offer for 90,000. For 90, they were actually rating, and North Korean were fighting back and forth and giving more money to get him. So again, it's not just getting the degree, but also making sure that you have the knowledge that you need to secure the data. And that's what the program that we do is involved, to make sure you get a hands-on experience, as well as getting the theoretical information that you need to have. Next slide, please. So these are some of the codes that are out there that says why, talking about anonymous hackers and why this hacking important, and why we need to actually have some kind of hack protection, and need to know about cybersecurity. Cybercrime is the greatest threat to every company in the world. There are two types of companies: those who actually have been hacked, and those who don't know. And that's the worst, if you don't know you've been hacked. So everybody's going to be hacked no matter what. It's just a matter of do you know it or not. And the level of hacking is different. And catching it the right time, not letting to go too far, is where you go. So that's where the cybersecurity comes in place. That's where forensics comes into place. That's where risk assessment comes into place, to make sure that you keep your system secure, at least up to a certain point, not let to go to the point that there is no way to return back to where you need to be. So the losses that you could be actually, as it says, it could be actually the whole company, half of Bangladesh could go if something goes back in the company. Actually, that's why they doubled the budget. That's why Bank of America has unlimited budget, because they see the issue in the cybersecurity, and what would be some problem if their system is being hacked, and they could actually cause a huge problem for them. So in general, they were saying we don't trust nobody. We don't trust you. You just need to make sure that we actually have a cybersecurity that can actually keep everything secure. We do security in digital, but the security at different levels. I mean, you have physical. If you go to a company, physical security is actually making sure the system is in a place secure, like in a room and locked. But that's just the physical. But when we talk about the cybersecurity, we talk about the digital also, that be able to access the data. And that could be at the place, like from the same location, try somebody to access, or remotely, or actually outside try. So we try to cybersecurity actually covers a wide range of security, but mostly non-physical. They do firewalls to protect the system, but those, even firewalls, there's a physical and the digital part of it. So we talk about the rules that you can put there to keep the system secure. So these all information is going to be covered through the curriculum that we have, from the physical to the software level of the security. Next slide, please. So we talk about the career opportunities that I mentioned that briefly, but as I said, 6 million job openings, 1.5 billion unfilled. That gives you a good idea of where we are right now and where it's going to be there. 82% shortage of security skills. That's huge need. And you look at the average salary. I mean, I gave you somebody, the average salary here in California is like 102 to 111. But having a master program, that means you have experience. Not only you have the bachelor degree, but you have the 2 years of experience that actually keeps you into this range of the salary that you see right here. It is important that actually, as I keep repeating myself, to not only get the theoretical aspect, but also work on the different the other aspects of it, real world applications, the competitions that we actually put in place. I'm going to go over them a little bit, but those are also important because you need to, when you graduate, you need to be able to see how you can actually set the system secure. So through the system that we have, through the labs that we have, through the experience that our faculty provide you, you would actually be able to gain all that information. Next slide, please. So here we talk about the CSUDH and why would you want to come to the CSUDH and take the program here at CSUDH. First of all, it's a collaborative environment, and you can actually have access to instructions anytime. Instructors are very available here. The program is very affordable. We have faculty who have been in the field for years, and not only at the academia but also at the professionally. So they're actually working in this area, so they can bring you the world of experience that they have to the class. We have labs that actually give you access to the tools that you need when you get to the real world, the projects that get you a hands-on experience, and they're also looking at the California here and then having access to the local workforce demand. That is a lot of demand right here, and we have access to some of those companies that actually can provide you with the job opportunities. We actually provide a lot of activities as part of this program. We actually, here at the research, our department, we actually develop workforce cybersecurity certificate programs. We actually attend or actually co-host as part of the CASI, Computer Alliance of Hispanic Institution, in the HINEC conference, which some of you were familiar with. We actually running the whole cybersecurity lab. Our students do that, so you get to see how the cybersecurity lab actually. There is a study that says cybersecurity or competition in general gives students more knowledge about what they can do with their field that they're in. So this security competition that we have here actually gives you all the knowledge that you need how to keep your system secure, and you see the real world way of defending and protecting your machines. We have actually tried to become a center of excellence, and we already have a program actually mapped to the NSA and DoD requirements. We just need to do the other step to actually become a center, and through that, actually, all the agencies that would send their recruiters here to us to recruit our students, because our program is already mapped based on their requirements. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned about the instructors that we have instructors that actually been in the field for years. They actually publish papers, they do conferences, they actually do research in this area, and also there are all those who actually work in this area in the company, and they have actually real experience, and they bring it to the school, to the classes. We talk about the management, the policy, the research, all of those different aspects of security. So we make sure that this is covered through the instructors with their knowledge and information at workplace, and also the research and the academic experience that they have. They are PhD faculty who actually spend lifetime in this field, the security and related area. Next, please. So the program that we have is total of 30 units or 10 classes, and out of these 10 classes, 6 of those are core. That means everybody has to take them, because we need that these are actually fundamental information that everybody in the cybersecurity should be aware of all this. So we talk about the foundations of cybersecurity, foundation of cyber forensics, information assurance network security, information security policy and procedures to make sure the policy in place, project management, so the management, the policy, the technical aspect, and of course we do a graduate project at the end, that you do a project from scratch. So make sure you do a project from the beginning to the end. So you actually get that project. That means that you actually run a system and keep the system secure. And that's actually one of the points that gets you to the job, because you actually done a work that they need from scratch, from beginning to the end. The electives actually give you, if you're interested in particular areas of it, if you want to forensic it more, for machine forensic, you can go for advanced forensic, or the operating system security, or advanced hacking, or any of the other three that are there. Secure cloud computing, of course, I would say that would be one of the, if they're using cloud computing, would want to have that. So these are the existing electives, but of course, as years continue, we're going to have new electives also, because as I said, field of computing and security changes. So we're going to bring new electives as it comes to make sure that those who graduate are up to date with what is needed to be for the workplace. Of course, these are for those who have already a bachelor in computer technology or some knowledge of computer security. But if you don't have that background, there is actually a leveling course. We're going to talk about it briefly. You can go through those leveling courses and it gets you to the program as well. But you need to have some courses to make sure that when you take these upper level courses, you're ready to handle them. So those leveling courses just basically brings you up to the level to be able to handle these courses. Next, please. So why would you want a master? I mean, if you have a bachelor, why would you want to have a master degree? First of all, master degree for those who are just getting bachelor becomes like 2 years of experience. So that 2 years they take the classes, it's like you have 2 years of experience when you go apply for a job. They consider you not as a fresh or a junior employee. They see you as somebody who already has 2 years of experience. That brings you to a better chance of getting a job. And of course, as part of the master program and doing the hands-on experience, you actually get not only the more advanced theoretical aspects of the security, you also get a little more hands-on activity that you need to do. And of course, as I said, since we bring the courses up to date and bring the fields upgrade not only the existing courses, but you might have to add a new course. It keeps you current and making sure that you actually, when you go for the interview or for a job, you always know about the systems out there, the tools that all the what needed to get you running the system and be able to interview successfully because of knowledge that you have throughout the 2 years. Next, please. So our program is actually the admission program that perhaps, as I said, to get into the Masters of Science and Cybersecurity, you need to have a bachelor's in computer technology from a program or something related. And if there are some that have some bachelor's in something related, but not exactly all the requirements are met, you might have some leveling courses. We have a set of courses that you have to take, but we actually develop 3 2-unit courses that in one semester you can actually take those and get you that foundation that you need to get you prepared for the master program. So if you have a bachelor degree in anything other than the computer technology or related area, these one more semester you would actually be able to get you to the place that you can get you to the master's cybersecurity. And they're great. Of course, you can take some classes in community college if you want to. We have a list of courses that are going to be posted on our website if you look at it. But obviously, that one semester would help you much faster to get you to the master's program. But you need to have a good standing at the last section in order to get admitted to the program, of course. And that's because of a GPA of 2.5. Either for the last program you took, or actually the last 60 units of the course that the degree that you have should be at least 2.5 or over, and that's basically the requirement for the admission to the master science in cybersecurity. Next, please. So for the getting to the class, as I said, if you are graduate, if you already have the bachelor degree, that would be fine. But these are the leveling courses. You have the 3 2-unit courses. So CTC 195, the first one is Foundation of IT. That gets you some IT instruction. The second one is basically talks about the networking, introduction to networking and the basics, foundations of networking. And the third one gives you foundation of cybersecurity. Give you a little bit of the cybersecurity information that you need to know in order to get to the master's program. So that covers a series of a little programming, a little bit of the statistics that you need to know, mathematics that you know, a little bit of the, as I said, networking, and some security aspects like for the hacking prevention, for the forensics, a little bit of all of those can be covered. So when you get to the master program, you have that preliminary knowledge that you get you ready. But again, when you come to the master program, you anticipate you're mature enough to spend a lot of time to make sure those 3 courses are understood well for the master's program. The program is offered, and you can start in the fall and the spring semesters. We have already started this fall. This spring, we're going to have opening as well. You can apply for the program. Could you send me the next slide? See if there's information there. Okay, so this talk about the tuition actually. One of the advantages of this program is actually affordability. The cost compared to other programs is almost half, if not less. So we try to make sure our program is affordable. And that's just what we do in CSUDH and in the CSU system in general. The affordability is one of the issues that we have. So you notice that the course that the program you take over the year and a half or 2 years, again, we make sure that the program can be completed in a year and a half. Is a 3 semesters in the summer. We can actually complete the program too. But it's up to you if you want to extend it. If you want to do one, if you want to do 3 classes per semester, obviously it would be a year and a half. If you want to take 2 courses in per semester, it would be longer. If you're working and you want to take 1, it still be doable, but it just takes a bit longer. But the overall expense would be somewhere around 20,000, and of course, whatever the books they need for that. But there's the way. Could you go to the next slide? See if there's a. So this is how you can apply for the program, of course. The first step is just to go to the Cal State Apply. So if you don't know what Cal State Apply is, just Google Cal State Apply, and then that comes up, and you can apply there. That's actually gets your information and credential out there for the system. Then they'll probably ask you for some information to be submitted, transcript, and that's where you send it to admit.csuh.edu. That information should be actually included into the Cal State also, but you send your information, your transcript, to the admit at csu.edu, and of course the third step is actually to send some letter of recommendation or support letter. Then you can send it to the department, and you send it to me, and then we'll put it in your folder, and the committee reviews, and then we'll respond to you. At any time you have any questions, obviously, feel free to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to respond to your queries. Next, please. So important deadline for the semester. So November 15 would be for the to December. So November 15 you need to apply, and you can by December 1st you can actually finish all your application. But November 15 will be the deadline for the spring semester. You have about a month and a half, of course, and of course. The registration after program acceptance could be October 1st. So registration opens date is October 1st. So you will see, if you're already in the place, you will see that our schedule is already out, and you can register for your classes. That's for the spring semester. Of course, for the fall semester, would be the same thing. So somewhere around the April, it's going to be the registration going to be open, but you have time to register till around, I suppose, somewhere around June or July, you still open. But if you're interested for the spring semester, which is up right coming, please make sure you submit your application right before, not past November 15. And again, just open the application, and if you have some document that needs to be sent out, you still have another 15 days or so to submit the rest of the document. Again, we have both opening for spring and fall. I believe the website is going to be there somewhere. We're going to show you how you can actually get all the information by that. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is where the question you have anytime, any question. If you want to go into the registration and question, you make sure you contact the MS program CSUDH.edu. The phone number is there. The website gives you all the information about the curriculum, what the courses being offered, what are the leveling courses, what are the courses we offer, and what is the schedule. Everything is in the website. Please go there, and then you get all the information over there under cybersecurity. And then, of course, if you have related to the curriculum questions, you're more than welcome to either email me or call the number below. Then you get for the advice for. If you want to check to see if your prerequisites is in place, or your course or degree that you have is if it's sufficient. Do you need any leveling courses? What kind of leveling courses you need? You can actually contact me. I'll be more than happy to give you the information. Next. Okay, please, you want to?
Yes, thank you so much, Mohsen, for the valuable information about the cybersecurity program. At this time, we will now begin our questions and answer session. So again, please just use the questions box on the right-hand side of your screen to ask all of your questions. Looks like we already have a few questions that have come in throughout the webinar, so we'll just dive right in here to you, Mohsen. Someone is asking if the leveling classes are offered in the summer.
Yes, it is offered in fall, spring, and summer. Correct. So in summer, actually, over the June, July, August, you can finish the leveling course. There are actually 3 2-unit courses that comes about 4 weeks each. So it's just the first one, then the second one, the third one comes one after the other. Yes.
Great, thank you. Our next question is, can you provide some examples of the types of lab activities that students would participate in?
So there is a something like you do the forensics. We have a forensic lab. We have some tools that the student can do the forensics activities for the mobile phones and as well as computers. They actually do the hacking. They actually have a virtual machine to set up that students do not even have to be in the school. They can actually do some of those security, which could be capture the flag competitions or King of the Hill competition that actually do with the defense and offense. There is a set of instructions that comes up, and then there is some activities that comes along with it. There are actually, they do pen testing. There is enterprise security. So pen testing, there is some type of activity they try to basically attack some machines. Because in order to find how you can protect the machine, you need to be able to attack them and find what are the vulnerabilities and then be able to secure the machine. So there's a pen testing lab activities. There's the enterprise security that you keep your system secure and try to protect your system from others to attacking your machine. So these 2 classes that is heavily lab related, they actually give you those activities. That's part of those communications on forensics courses that you see being offered there is going to have some of those lab activities. And again, other than those, there's a lot of other activities that's going to include it. As I said, we have a competition that you actually get a hands-on experience on those, and there is some workshop that we do. There's a conferences that happens on campus on Saturday. It's called Total Hack. That actually go through a competition and would actually invite students to come there and do that. And there's actually the HINAC conference, as I said, that we actually also can bring our students to that conference. They do competition. So there is a lot of opportunity that you can do those lab activities, not only in the class, but also outside of the class as well.
Great, thank you, Mohsen. Our next question is, can you please explain the expected time commitment a student would have to engage in outside of the classroom?
So in general, for each time that is spent, so for like a 3-hour class, you anticipate to have another 3 to 6 hour time that you put yourself. So it's a 3-hour course for semester that you spend. We anticipate you spend another 3 to 6 hours after class to just kind of take care of the activities that are related to this course. So if you're taking one class, which is 3 hours, you would anticipate to have another 3 to 6 hours. So that's basically the. If you take one class, it would be 3 hours to 6. If 2 classes, it would be 6 to 12. You can think of that. It just depends how much spend you want to spend, but that's the normal amount of time you need to spend.
Great, thank you. Our next question is more of an admissions type question. Can you use the GI Bill to pay for the courses?
I believe so. You have to contact your GI contact, and we also have a contact here.
So this part, actually, Mr. Keith Ottenberg is here that he can help you on that. And I think what he's saying is that they can contact him.
You can contact our registration department, and we'll be able to work with you on that.
Apparently, they have some of that, but it depends what kind of GI bill it is, apparently. But you can contact them, and they might be ready to do that.
Great, thank you both. The next question coming in is, do you need to take the GRE exam for this course?
No, there is no GRE requirement for this class, for this course program.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's see here. So the next question, how important will cyber certifications be in addition to the degree?
So the leveling courses that we have, actually, the leveling courses we actually give a certificate also. So those leveling courses get you a certificate in cybersecurity. The 3 courses that you have, so those who don't have a degree, they get a certificate, and then after that they get a degree. Are you talking about that certificate or a certificate in general?
This doesn't say. I think this means certification in general.
So certification is more, well, you're talking about one semester or 1-2 course versus a program. Obviously, the master program is a more credited program that we have right here. It's gone through the master program. When it goes through the credential, to the accreditation, to go through the review by the department, by the college, by the school, and by the system. So you're talking about the program that has been actually approved at 3-4 different levels. The certification, it depends what kind of certification it is. And what we're trying to do here, we're trying to cover the material that most of the material that we have somehow gets the information from the certification. So we have a certification plus more information that provides the student. So it gets well-rounded. Certification is more focused on one area, but the degree that you get here, cybersecurity actually covers more of the cybersecurity knowledge, the policy, the technology, the techniques, the technical aspect, and also the management. So it becomes a full rounded knowledge they get through the degree. And although I'm not against the certificate, I'm not trying to put down the certificate by any means, but when you get a degree program, in many companies that you go, companies like Raytheon or North Korea or some others, the master's degree, they provide you with 2 years of experience. And that would bring your the salary to get much higher than the other because you have 2 years of experience added to that, as well as the knowledge that you have. I'm not sure that certificate provides you with that.
Great answer. Thank you, Mohsen. The next question is, does the program have any partnerships with employers of cybersecurity professionals in the local area? Some examples being Google, YouTube, or various aerospace companies in the Silicon Beach area.
So we have a very strong relationship with Google. We have a lot of, we developed some courses with Google. We have worked with the city of LA. We developed this cybersecurity program that we have because of the need that they have. And they actually have, with the local business and small businesses, they're part of their the network that they have. And the reason that we developed the certificate and this program is because they needed people in their area. So once we have students here, we actually, the HINAC conference that we have, we take the students to this conference, and there is companies from related that needed cybersecurity. Actually, 4 of us students got hired last semester. So we have a strong connection through the conferences that we take the students with, and they would actually be able to get the job opportunity, to get the job at that place. And we've been successful with that. But we have Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, IBM, Google are in an advisory council members. So they actually give us the advice of what programs to develop to make sure the students that we graduate here are to the level that they want to hire. So we have that connection that they could help them out.
Great, thank you for answering that. Next, we have, like many undergrad and graduate programs at CSU Dominguez Hills, is this master's degree offered in the evening for working students?
Yes, so this program actually is offered in the evening, and it's offered in Friday, actually Saturday evening, and even Sunday, to making sure that the working class will be able to take this class. So most of the classes is Saturday, and we start one on Sunday this coming semester. And if it's needed, if you needed to do Friday, it's going to be afternoon. So it's going to be, for now it's Saturday and Sunday, but if you needed Friday, it would be Friday afternoon. Friday evening, yeah. So it's all evening or Saturday, Sunday.
Great, thank you. And are there any scholarships or grants that students can apply for this particular program?
Let's see. There are loans available through Sallie Mae. We don't have any, and I believe it's ISSA has scholarships available. That's a cybersecurity organization. Those are the 2 that I'm aware of.
Great, thank you. And Mohsen, if someone who does not have a degree in computer science or a related field, but holds an IT certification from elsewhere, how difficult would it be for them to enter this program?
So he has a bachelor degree, at least?
It looks like that, yes. Has a degree in computer science as an undergrad and has an IT certification elsewhere, but also would like to take this program.
So I need to look at his background and the information that he has, and I see if the leveling courses are needed or if he has the leveling courses knowledge. The only reason we put the leveling courses to make sure students who come to the graduate program be able to handle them, not get lost in the program. If I see students that he's capable to take the graduate level courses and he has that background already there, we're not trying to force them to take a class that's not needed. We want to make sure the students are successful through the program. So the whole idea of leveling program is to make sure students go through the graduate program successfully and complete the program. So if somebody already has that knowledge and is ready to take those, I don't see any issue, any problem there if you have a bachelor program already. It's just a matter of one-to-one and have to look at his or her background and see what he has and does it cover those needed topics. If he has covered those topics, then it's fine. If not, he might just need just one of those three or none of them. It depends what the background is.
Great, thank you. And are all courses 3 units each?
Yes, except the leveling courses, which are 2 units each. All the courses for the master's program, 3 units each. 10 of them, that makes it 30 units.
Okay, thank you. And the next question here, how would this program help someone who does not have a computer science degree at all, but does have a foot in the door in the cybersecurity industry? Would they first need to complete any courses to build up to the master's program?
Yes, that leveling course is what it is. That leveling course that we have, it covers both the IT aspects, the networking, and the introduction to cybersecurity. So give him that background that he needs or she needs to get to the master's program.
Great, thank you. The next question, this is a student actually who graduated from CSUDH last year. They have a bachelor's in the Homeland Security program and are wondering, is this a continuation of that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the program for that degree to actually give them the more advanced knowledge on the area of the cybersecurity. Yeah. So whatever they learn, whatever they will get to the advanced knowledge and the more practical aspects of those topics. Plus a little bit of the policy and management. They did some of them with the undergrad, but they get a little more advanced knowledge and the research part of it.
Okay, great, thank you. And is this Master's in Cybersecurity an online program and an in-classroom program?
At this point, it's an in-class program. It's not online. It is in-class program.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's see. We have a lot of great questions coming in. We have about 5 minutes or so left in our presentation today, so we'll get through a couple more here with the time we do have. This person is asking, how do we apply for the leveling courses for the fall if it's not too late, or the spring semester?
For the actually the courses are going to be, just tell them to contact
just call 877-GO-HEALS, 877-GOHILLS.
Okay, thank you. And can you talk more about how this program is aligned with the NSA standards?
So, great question. Actually, the reason we have those leveling courses to making sure that students who take this class meet the map. The program is mapped. The program is mapped to the NSA program, the curriculum that they have. So we want to make sure that those leveling courses that I mentioned here, we want to make sure those deficiency students who don't have meet those. So there is a lot of statistics, a little bit of programming, a little bit of the basic idea about the knowledge about the IT is covered in the leveling courses to make sure that once a student takes the master's program, if they have undergrad in cybersecurity that we have, it's already covered many of those. If you do that, they cover the rest of the mandate. And that is basically, we are working on having this program mapped to the NSA curriculum, which is already there, and we apply for getting the designation as a cyber defense. So it is mapped with the NSA. We actually working with them very closely to making sure NSA and DOH that have this program, cyber defense, Center of Excellence Cyber Defense. We are working in that area, and that's basically what it is. So it is mapped with its curriculum, basically.
Great, thank you. And this is a good one here. Will there be tutoring or study groups available throughout the length of the course?
Tutoring. We do have actually a clubs that students are there and students actually working together. It is actually, we have a lab, cybersecurity lab that students are there and they're working with each other through the projects and through helping each other through the tutoring. We don't have a tutoring for the master's program at this point, but for the leveling courses, there could be some that could be used through the school that we have. For the master's program, as of now, we don't have any tutoring session. We might need to work on that as the need comes in. That's the first time I hear a tutoring session for the master's program, but if I see the need is there, we can provide that for the students.
Great, thank you. This one, it's the person is asking, you list 2 letters of support needed. Does the professor from the institution count as one of those?
Yes, yes.
Great, thank you. And on average, how big are the classes, and do we need to worry about classes filling up too quickly?
The class size should be somewhere between 20 to 25. And if we see we have a lot of applicants, we might be able to break the class into 2 and then open up for more. It just depends on the number of students that comes in. So as of now, we should be okay, right? Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have any problem at this point.
Okay, thank you.
If the question is, do they delay the graduation? We always do our best not to delay the graduation. So if you are in the cohort, we make sure that you get the seat that you need to make sure you finish it. If your intention was a 2-year, a year and a half, you make sure that you finish in that year that you. As long as you pass the courses, you should be able to finish it in a timely manner.
All right, thank you very much. And the last question we have time for today is, does the school have payment plans available for this program?
Yes, if you contact the 877 Go Hills number that we mentioned earlier, they would be able to work out a payment plan with you.
All right, thank you, Keith. Okay, everyone, thank you all again for joining us today. We hope the information presented will help you move forward in your educational decision-making or pursue or enhance your current career in cybersecurity. If we did not get to your question today, please just reach out to the admissions office, or Mohsen said he's also available for any questions that are specific to the cybersecurity field. And the link will be on the screen here in the recording we send after this presentation. And enjoy your day and have a pleasant afternoon.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.